What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Redriveraviation. Hope you're having a fantastic day today, and today I have a very exciting 1-200 model unboxing for you all. I really hope each and every one of you are excited for today's video, as today we're going to be taking a look at the GEMINI200, Latam Boeing 787-9, and Polar Air Cargo Boeing 747-400 Freighter Interactive Series. So I'm really excited to dive into these, and I hope each and every one of you are as well. So let's just go ahead and get into this, guys. So really cool. These both come from the LAX One Day Collectibles Show from January of 2024, and somehow, some way, the private vendor that was selling these aircraft sold them to me. I'll explain it real quick. So he started them off at $85 individually, which I already thought was a good price. So later in the day, I came back to him, and he was down to $70 for both these individually. I was like, man, these are both really nice. So these were the two I got down to, and I decided that I was only going to buy one, and I was only going to buy this Polar Air Cargo 747 Interactive Series 1-200 because the value is obviously amazing, considering that it's a 1-200 Interactive Series aircraft. But then I only had a $100 bill on me, so I gave that to him, and I said, I hope you can make cash. And he said, feel free to take any model on the table if you let me keep the 100. I was like, man, I really hate to do this, but I put this Latam up to him. I was like, any model? And he said yes. So I got both these for $50 each. Absolute steal. I'm so stoked about it, and what an awesome duo we have right here. These airline collectible shows are powerful, y'all, and I can't recommend them enough. So really happy about both these. We're not going to waste any further time. We've already done our story time. Let's just go ahead and get into this, guys. So the first 1-200 we're going to start with right here is the Latam Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner in 1-200 scale. I've got to see so many of these recently between Miami and Los Angeles, so this is a perfect time to pick up a model of a Latam in 1-200. And again, not a huge selection from the private vendor, but I'm not complaining because I was just looking for some sort of aircraft, and this certainly fulfills my desires. So let's not waste any further time and go ahead and get started. GEMINI200, here's the Latam logo, Boeing 787-9 down here, the CGI. The box got tore up quite a bit because I didn't have a suitcase because I was on basic economy with United, so I had to end up carrying these, which was pretty impressive, but luckily they made it all the way. Just a couple of scratches from the Delta 747 in-flight entertainment screen that I was carrying on top of it for half the time. So, but man, quite the story. I'll try to get some pictures, but carrying these all around town was pretty crazy. So here's the back of the box. It's a 2022 release. So glad to have this, a really special one, and I believe this is my first international carrier for the Dreamliner 1-200, excluding my British Airways A380 with regards to international carriers. So I don't have many of these, so really special to get this one. But here's the pamphlet in the aircraft inside, and yes, these are in perfect condition, which just is crazy, again, for the price that I got it for. But just go to airline collectible shows, guys. I can't recommend them enough if you like model aircraft, because you can get some absolute steals of deals. But nevertheless, we're not going to waste any more time. Here it is, guys. And it is super nice. Taking it out, here's the stand, and here's the aircraft itself. I'll have to blow off the dust because there's quite a bit. But overall, this is such a nice model. The landing gear also right here. So let me go ahead and put these in real quick as we speak. But what a model that we have right here, guys. This is super nice. I can't even find the piece to get these off. Where is it? I'm trying to find it here real quick. Sorry that you all have to wait through this, but I'm just trying to find it real quick so we can go ahead and get the gear inserted and get into the review portion of this. I can't seem to find it. Where is it? I guess you can just rig it and do it this way, which is not what I was intending to do, but trying to find it. And I literally can't. I guess you just have to pull it out like that. So if anybody knows, feel free to let me know. But that was quite the process to get this open. But I think we have, after all that, got the landing gear. So how about that? There they come. So now, after all that, we do have the gear up configuration too, but now we can go ahead and put these in here. So doing that as we speak right now. Boom, boom. Come on. Trying to get the second boom. I had some problems with my American Dreamliner too, so there we go. But luckily, that does finally work. Boom. Let me take the box off to the side right here. And ladies and gentlemen, the 1-200 scale Latam Airlines Boeing 787 Dreamliner-9 edition. What a model right here. Very excited to have this aircraft. This is super nice, as you can tell right here. It looks absolutely fantastic, and I am so glad to have this in the collection. Man, 50 bucks, that is just stupid, to be completely honest, but absolutely no complaints here. So glad to have this in the fleet. What are we waiting for? Let's just go ahead and take a look at this. It speaks for itself at this point. All right, Here we go for the Latam Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner by Gemini200 in 1:200 scale, of course. Here's the cockpit windows. They look really good in the nose cone. And then, of course, you have the landing gear, which does twist. It's a little tight right now, but it'll get better later. The last three, the registration, Bravo Golf Mike right there. Here's the L1 door. The Latam logo is so cool. So you got Latam in all caps, and then of course you got their logo right here. That's really, really cool. You got your first class in the business section area, so that looks really good. Then you got the L2 door along with these panels right here. Then you got the clear beacon right there along with the first antenna. That looks absolutely amazing. And just take a look at the detail. I know we reviewed the American one over the last summer, so we had some of those details, but now we're just taking a look at this mold again. It's so nice. We got the air inlets right there, the leading edge light. That looks amazing. There's the slats along with the beautiful Rolls-Royce engines right there. They look so great. And you can see they do spin, of course. That's absolutely fantastic. Let me see if I can demo it real quick. There we go. That's absolutely awesome. That's so cool. So really glad to see that right there. Here's the wing. It looks so nice. And of course you have the tilting gear and all that. Here's the back piece right here. It looks so good out here on the wing, along with the flap slats and speed brake detail once again. And you can see over the edge there for the other side of the wing. The Latam livery is real simple, so that's why I opted initially to do just the Polar, but then obviously the opportunity came to get this too. So there's the L3 door. Then we finally get into some color back here with the L4 door. Here's the Dreamliner, titles Boeing 787-9. You got the luggage door there, and then again, it's Charlie Bravo Golf Mike. Here's that baggage door, and then you got this kind of green teal color. I'm not exactly sure what you want to call that. The navy, and then of course the red and the various colors looks so good. Horizontal stabilizer APU. Golly, what a gorgeous plane. Right side's got so much detail here. It's so much easier to see more detail on the right side in the 1:200 land, so that's certainly very nice. But as you can see right there, you get the various panels along with the cargo door right there that looks really good. That's absolutely fantastic. The back has very similar details, and overall it just looks absolutely amazing. Top of the aircraft looks very good. As you can see, it looks really great. And again, let me see if I can get some of this off so we don't have to look at that anymore, because I know that might be a little bit annoying. So let me see how good I can clean that up real quick. This must have just been sitting on a shelf for a while, and I can see why he was like, yeah, probably good to get it out of the house and go to another home. And then the bottom of the aircraft also looks really great. You do have another clear beacon down there. The Latam logo, once again, the air inlets. All this is just so gorgeous, and this is a huge aircraft to add to the collection. So I'm very glad to have this. This is an awesome model, and man, what a gorgeous plane. 50 bucks, absolutely cannot go wrong. With the fact that I got the next one for 52 is truly surreal. So what are we waiting for? Let's just go ahead and take a look at that aircraft, everybody. That's gonna be the Polar Air Cargo Boeing 747-400 Freighter Interactive Series. Again, what a still. So glad to have this right here, and an absolutely gorgeous aircraft that I'll be very excited to get to represent here in the collection. So the box, very similar to the other 1:200 boxes, Gemini200, Polar Air Cargo. There's the aircraft. Interactive Series sticker is the only new part, Boeing 747-400. And luckily this one doesn't have quite as much damage as the previous offering that we took a look at. Here's the back. This is also a 2022 release. And it was very ironic that I got this aircraft for free from the DG Pilot Cyber Monday sale last year. So now we got it here in 1:200, and we're not going to waste any further time with the interactive, first interactive in 1:200. Quite a way to do it, and I think this is going to be an awesome aircraft right here. So what are we waiting for, guys? Let's go ahead and get into this. And I'm very glad that didn't end up breaking, as TSA in Los Angeles made me take them out of the box, and he pretty much threw it onto a plastic container without even asking me, which was not very cool, but luckily it did survive. So here we go, guys. The Polar 747 Interactive Series. Man, what an aircraft. We are running out of light real fast here, so I'll do my best to be as efficient as possible with this, and I'll put on the interactive parts here in a little bit. But man, what an aircraft. Oh my. I would like to put them on real quick. I'll go ahead and I think it's gonna look cooler, even though we're gonna lose a little bit of light. So let me first start by moving this table back. I'll actually take you through the process of putting them on, because that's the huge difference. But there is the aircraft itself. It looks absolutely amazing. But let me go ahead and just put on the parts. Even if we do lose the light, it's certainly worth it. It is a pretty blank aircraft after all, but this is the big difference with this aircraft, is the interactive parts. So let me just go ahead. We're gonna put these on together because they're way too cool and 1:200 not to. So first off, we have the nose, which comes out real easy, but take a look at how defined that is. That is so cool. It's like not magnetic, but it's just so big and just overall sturdy. It's really cool. You can see the metal pieces here on the nose, much easier than the 1-400, but again, really small, so be very careful. But This is going to fit a little bit nicer, and it has 2 pieces this time. So obviously this is going to fit a little bit better than, say, your 1-400 would. So that looks really great right there. Going to be tough to mess around with that. Then the back one, we might have a chance to get a decent review here if I get these in real quick. Then we have the back one, which you use the tool still on these aircraft, which is great. So let me see if I can get it in the insert. They're just as hard as the 1-400 to get out there, I will say that. Man, this is pretty tough. There we go. So here's what the pieces look like. You can see where your socket can go in there if you're not careful, but absolutely ginormous pieces. So let me go ahead and put the new piece. Glad that we've had some practice on the 1-400, the lead up to the 1-200, and then of course we have them on the other side. But again, it's an interactive model. I can't, my first 1-400 or 1-200 747 in addition to that. So why would I even buy this model if I'm not going to display it interactive, right? Just kidding. But I think it's real cool. I can't believe I got an interactive 747 1-200 before I got a flaps down. That's what these airline collectible shows will do. So I don't know which one's A and which one's B, but I'm just going to hope that this one is B. And it looks pretty straight. I think that should be it. I think, hopefully. Just in case. Oh, shoot. What am I doing? Let me just try A just in case. Sorry, guys, that this is taking a little bit of time, but again, just want to make sure. Yeah, that's the right piece. Okay, and then last but certainly not least, the back one. I think we will get just enough time to do a little review here, which is awesomeness. In the light, of course, but nevertheless, man, what a... the quality of the build right now is what I'm thinking of, and I'm sure many of you are as well. Darn it, come on. These pieces are pretty tough to get out. I will not lie about that, especially this back one. I've had problems with this one on the 400 as well in the past, trying to get this one off. It's so tight and tough. Well, let's see if we can get it all the way in there. See, it wants to pull out the, you know what I'm talking about. It wants to pull out the piece to pull it out pretty much every time. And I'm trying to find a better way to do this, but I would like to get it fully interactive, even if we do lose the light, because of how gorgeous it's going to look. And that's how it's supposed to be displayed. So there we go. Finally got it. Probably twisted the piece while in the process. There we go. And now I can finally put this on here. It also has 747-400 freighter 1-200 on the pieces, which is real cool. So let me see if I can get that in there. There we go. That might be the other piece, but at this point, it doesn't matter too much because we got to get these landing gears on so we can do a adequate review of this. And again, very cool model right here. So glad to have it here in the fleet, and it's a true talent show, no doubt about it. First ever 747 1-200, and it's certainly a very good one at that. So glad to have this, and this is really, really cool. So as we speak, getting all these landing gears in, as you can see, it's kind of tough to tell, so let's just go ahead and flip her on over and go ahead and get after the process because you can see the inserts better this way. Boom, 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 and boom, I believe. Hopefully that's the correct config. I believe that is. Oh my gosh, wow. That is epicness. Everybody needs to do this, even though the money is just crazy to be able to get one of these. It's so worth it. So let's just go ahead and move this off and get a good review in before we lose our lights. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the Polar Air Cargo Boeing 747 1-200 scale interactive. Please do yourself a favor and buy you this. This is so freaking cool. Man, just gotta stare at that for a minute. My gosh, wow, that is so cool. So there it is. So glad to have it. So worth getting the interactive parts on there because it looks so good in 1-200, and it certainly is a huge advancement in the model aircraft landscape. So let's take a look at this. So here's the nose cone. Of course, it does open and close. Here's the open portion of it. You can see the rods. It fits in much better than the 400. It's real cool. And you can certainly get some really good GSC and line that up in there. Really big hole there, so that's really cool, and it goes really far back, so that's very accurate and very cool. So definitely excited to use that at some point on hopefully a 1-200 model airport. That would be awesome. Nose landing gear 450, really good detail up here. Here's the cockpit windows along with the hatch to get out. That's awesome. And you got the L1 door that looks really good. The Polar titles, there's the beacon, the 3 windows there look really nice. You also have these clear beacon there, really small and stubby. That's Very cool, so glad to see that. Some small panel detail down here as well. Then of course you're gonna have the wing, which you can see it's kind of inserted a little bit. It's the JC mold there, so of course you have to assemble it as a two-piece. You can see kind of where it sticks out a little bit, but not too bad. The air inlets and the stubby antenna look really good right there too. That landing gear really just wants to bounce around all over the place. I don't know why. Leading edge light, there's the engines. They look very good on this aircraft, so very glad to see that. There's the winglet, looks really good. You got the small Polar logo, and of course we'll take a look at the big one here in a moment. Here's the wing with some really solid flap slot and speed brake detail. The landing gear do all pivot and they roll really nicely, so that's awesome. I love the angle on the main ones. It's really, really cool. Again, Polar's delivery is real simple, so not, you know, what can you do about it? It's okay. There's the blue line coming all the way across. You got the double antennas, and then there's the second door right there. That looks real nice, so really happy to see that. Then you got the top two antennas, and then Boeing 747-400 freighter, registration November 450 Papa Alpha. Here is this piece. I don't even know what that is. That's very cool. You can see it right there. That's really nice. And then you got the L2 door right there. And then of course you got the Polar tail right there. That looks amazing. The horizontal stabilized APU. Inside the winglet has the registration. That's really cool. So all of this looks really great. The APU details S tier. That's really great effort. You can see all of that right there. It's really, really good. So very glad to get to see that. Right side of the aircraft also looks really good. Take a look at that nose again. And then you got the Polar right there. That looks so good. There's door number 1. That looks really nice. They did a good job. So much more defined than the 400, and you can really get the grasp, so that's really cool. Still very delicate, of course, but still a little bit easier to use than 400. And then this cargo door opens. I'm so used to just saying cargo doors right here, but now that they actually open, it's really cool. So this is so awesome to see, and I think it's a huge advancement here in 1-400, or 1-200 rather. But the real question is if we're going to see flaps down and interactive at some point. That's the real question, so we will have to see. More stubby antennas. Then of course you got the baggage door right there. Surprised that's not opening too. Just kidding, but man, this is so cool. So what a steal, man. There's not too much more I can say besides go get yourself an in-flight or an interactive series aircraft. It's so nice. So we're running out of light, unfortunately, of course, but we did get the review in, so that's what the goal was. And then the Latam right here next to it. This is a heck of a dream team for $100. The Polar's worth like $150 by itself, so I'm very, very happy about this. And overall, it's a very nice addition. And yes, I am working on my collection video in the back there, so that is on the way. I know it said it would be coming out in January. Life happens, but the good news is I can tell you that I'm making progress on it, and it will be coming in the near future, so keep your eyes out on that. But nevertheless, this is an awesome assortment of aircraft. Just got to stare at them for a minute and really take it in because they're so good. And again, the interactive does look good closed, but why even do that when you can have it open? I mean, it just looks so good, and especially for model airport builders, you cannot complain with that 1-200. Yes, expensive. Yes, the GSC to buy, it's just as expensive as the model itself, but overall, it is a gorgeous aircraft, and you can't deny how cool the features are of the interactive series. And the Latam is an incredible model too. I can't believe that I got it for that price. That's certainly the cheapest 1-200 I've ever got for a heavy. So I'm so glad to have it, and it's going to fit in really well here in the collection. My 1-200 fleet's just growing crazy fast, so it's been really awesome between my flight miniature aircraft, Skymarks, and of course now all these GEMINI200's. I definitely would like to get some more NGs in the future too, but these airline collectible shows, guys, that's how it happens. Literally, I spent $40 on 8 in-flight miniature aircraft. That was so cool. And then between these, I literally just got, you could argue, $600 worth of value for $150. So, I mean, yes and yes. What more can I say at this point? But really happy about it, and I hope each and every one of you enjoyed this video. So excited to make more content on this channel with regards to these hauls from these airline collectible shows. And definitely check out the videos where the next airline collectible shows will be so that you can take advantage of all these insane deals. And I'll be so excited to see it for all of you. But nevertheless, that'll do it for today's video, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching. My name is Redriveraviation. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe. Trust process. Do what you love and love you do. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon as Redriveraviation is signing